Well, hello, everyone. My name is Anthony Tran, and I am the Director of Marketing at Beaver Builder. We offer a software for WordPress users to help them build their websites. So I'm going to walk you through um, a quick example of why you should be considering using our tool, and also just being a website builder in this type of age. And I'll also show you a live demo of how the tool works. And then at the end, I'll be happy to answer any of your questions. So I'm going to go ahead and first start with the slide presentation. If any of you have any questions, feel free to put it in the message box, and then Sarah will jump in and ask the question for me. All right. So let's get started. Okay, can everybody see the screen? Can you see that screen?
Yep,
Sarah?
looks good.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Okay, all right. So we are off on a great start. So the name of our presentation today is how to use Beaver Builder to design attractive WordPress websites. And you're going to discover how you can build these WordPress sites in pretty much half the time. All right, so a quick overview of what I'll be talking about. As mentioned before, I'm going to explain why today, now is the best time for you to become a website builder, why you should be considering using WordPress as the platform of choice, and how Beaver Builder can be an excellent tool for you to build websites. And then lastly, like I said, I'll show you a live demonstration of how easy it is for you to drag and drop and build websites on your own. So quickly, I'm just going to give you an example of what type of people could be using this tool. This could be you, and maybe you're in this position where you're looking for ways to either make some money on the side, or if you want to create an agency, a web design agency of your own. Maybe you're a graphic designer that wants to create some visual things for your clients. You could be a web developer if you like to code, because the tool is flexible and powerful enough for you to create some custom settings with your coding experience. But I will say you do not have to have any web development experience or need to know how to code to know how to use and build websites with the tool. And a lot of people these days are also freelancers, like I said, doing things on the side, either as part-time or full-time. So this is a great way for you to make some extra money. If you are like me, who is a professional marketer, this is also a great tool to have under your belt. And then lastly, another big trend of these days, especially with social media, is everyone wants to be able to create their own platform and create their space as an influencer. And a lot of times these influencers definitely need a website to be able to call their home base and sell products and services online. So the reason why I say it's so important for you to consider this information and start today is the web building industry is just exploding. I mean, it's already been growing at an exponential rate throughout the past couple years, but they've already said that by 2029, there's an expected 8% growth year after year. And the average salary for someone to work for a company is about $77,000. So it's a great industry to be in. You can definitely get paid for your services and your skill set. And you can also even make potentially a lot more as a freelancer, or if you create your own business with your own website. So lots of opportunities to grow, lots of opportunities to monetize and build a business or work for a company. And as we talked about this past 2020, everyone has realized that everything is shifting to work from home. Everything is shifting online. And that gives you a lot of flexibility when it comes to, you definitely need a home base like a website in order to do so. So as we talked about, 2020 was huge, lots of global shutdowns, but the web building industry did not get affected by it. And in fact, if anything, it probably grew a lot faster. They're saying that e-commerce is expected to grow to $6.3 trillion by 2024. So lots of people are getting very comfortable buying things online, getting shipped to their door. So if you have a website that you're trying to sell physical products to, you can definitely build an e-commerce site using WordPress and Beaver Builder. And so that's a great reason why you should be considering it. Also, number two, 75% of websites credibility comes from design. So you have to have a nice looking storefront, a nice looking website in order to build that trust where people feel comfortable purchasing from your store or your website, or even reading, consuming your content. But the nice thing is we are able to do that, like I said, using WordPress. And there's a lot of different resources for you to do so. And kind of number two, number three, piggyback well together is, poor UX, user experience. If you don't have a nice looking website, if you have a website that doesn't function appropriately, then it's a distractor for people, and they're going to essentially leave your site. So you want to make sure that you have a great design, great user experience, and WordPress and Beaver Builder can definitely give you both. And I'm going to show you that in a second. So number four, obviously you need to have a website in order for your business to stand out. So even if you have a brick and mortar business, or you do things more on a physical basis, I like to say websites these days are essentially your business cards or your resume. No longer are people want to verify what you do, and the best way for you to do that is to show them your website. Here's my portfolio. Here's my website online. Here's my testimonials from my clients. So a website can really help you stand up from your competition if you do have a physical brick and mortar business. And you as wanted to further allude that online sales are also continuing to grow in all capacities, not just physical products, but service businesses, ordering things, digital products. It's all just growing exponentially. They said it's about 2.14 billion this year. Just massive, massive growth, and it's continuing to grow at a high accelerated rate. Um, as we talked about, a lot of companies are also, closing down their brick and mortar businesses or their corporate offices, moving all their business to business sales to online. It's a huge transition. We call it. I like to call it the work from home movement. Right. This is everyone's working from home in a lot of different capacities. So now that I kind of set the groundwork of why this is important to you, why you should definitely be considering this, I just want to quickly touch base and provide that why you can trust using WordPress. Over 40% of all websites online are using WordPress as their main content management system. So you can feel very confident that WordPress is something that's stable. It's been around for many, many years. I've personally used it for over 12 years. So it's definitely been around, and a lot of big companies use it and trust it. So, for example, NBC Sports use it, and CNN, Microsoft, UPS. If big companies are using it, small business are using it, you can feel confident that this is the top choice for a lot of companies and website builders, and you should feel very confident that it's not going anywhere or going to be replaced by anyone. So just to emphasize a few other things, why WordPress is really great. It's very easy to learn. There are tons of tutorials online, lots of videos on YouTube that you can research and watch. There's billions of articles on Google that you could search. It's basically the platform of choice and easy for people to learn. It's also great for Google in a sense for if you want to get your store found on Google, if you want to write articles and blog, it ranks really well on Google. And so that's why people like to use it. There's a two, I would say, the top two reasons: easy to learn, and it ranks well on Google. I'm not going to go through all the bullets as you can see it on the slide, but basically, as I said before, there's no coding that's required, but it is flexible enough if you do like to custom code. There's thousands of products and services that support the WordPress community, so you can feel confident that you can find help and support at pretty much every avenue out there. And let's transition to Beaver Builder. So as I mentioned, you have the content management system, which is WordPress, which is the foundation. And then Beaver Builder is what I recommend to use as a tool to be able to build websites on WordPress. There's been over 1 million websites that use Beaver Builder. And there's definitely some well-known companies out there that use Beaver Builder, like GoDaddy, for example. You probably have heard GoDaddy from selling domains, but they also do web hosting, and they have recommended us as one of the top builders to their community. So you're probably wondering, okay, well, what exactly is Beaver Builder? And I'll try to explain it to you, but essentially it's the tool for you to drag and drop and be able to visually build your websites. It's very easy to use. You can customize it in all different ways or fashion. It makes your websites mobile friendly, and it gives you some tools like templates, which I'm going to show you in a demonstration real quick. So that way, if you are new to building websites, you can use some of the templates that we have available to quickly drag and drop rows and sections into your website. Some other things I want to emphasize why people love using Beaver Builder. You can essentially create any type of website that you can dream of, whether it's an e-commerce site, a membership site, a blog, a static website, a brochure, a landing page, any type of site that you need, you can use Beaver Builder to create it. And there's no coding required, um, and it's an easy drag and drop tool. And I'm going to basically have to show you. It's great to be able to say it, but it's another thing to see it in action. The other thing I'm just going to emphasize is we also have a great support team that can show you. We have a lot of video tutorials on YouTube. We have a course coming out. So lots of excellent resources for you to learn how to use this. If you're just not familiar with WordPress or you've never done anything, do not worry. There are lots of step-by-step video tutorials that can help you learn how to do this. It's something how I learned. I started my web design business 8 years ago. I was able to leave my corporate job, and my wife was able to leave her company, and we've been able to create a web design business working full time from home. So I know, and I didn't have any experience in previously as far as I didn't have any experience being a developer. In fact, my background was something far different. I was in the Air Force, and I worked for an automotive company. So if I can do it, I definitely feel confident that you can do it as well. All right, so basically, how do you use Beaver Builder? I'm just going to quickly, you can start with templates, as I mentioned. We do also have some rows that you can drag and drop into it. And it's simply, if you can click a mouse, move it around, click, you'll be able to create websites. All right, so now that we got through the introduction, the slideshow, let's really see this in action. All right. Now I'm going to transition to the actual live demonstration. I'm just going to pause for a second. Sarah, is there any questions that have come out yet?
But I believe there will be once you get started.
Okay.
Cool. I also added a poll, a couple of polls, by the way, so we could get a feel for who's watching. And
perfect. Okay. So here is the whenever you install WordPress, it comes with just pretty much a blank slate. This is there's a blank canvas. You can pretty much start. So I'm going to show you Beaver Builder in action. I just click Beaver Builder up top here. And you'll see that there's a little panel that opens up on the right-hand side. Right now, because I'm live streaming, it might be a little slow. I'm just going to click refresh real quick to kind of get it to initiate. Okay, here we go. So Beaver Builder opens up and it allows you to open up this panel that you see right here. There's a lot of different tools. And don't worry, it may look like a lot, but once you start using it, it becomes very intuitive. So the first thing I want to show you is I'm just going to create a home page for you. And basically, we have this tab that says templates. And we already have a bunch of templates that you can just simply click and it will automatically push it onto the site. So for example, I'm going to click home, use this template, and you're going to see it's just going to ask me if I want to replace the existing layout. I'm going to say yes and click OK. So I think I want to say that was what, 2 clicks? 2 clicks and boom. I have a starter template that I can use and change, but it gives me something to work with. And so you can see that there's a nice home page, there's a header, a call to action button. As I'm scrolling down, you'll see that there's more information and placeholders for you to change the text. And yeah, this is a nice homepage. It's even got testimonials, some logos for you, a quick call to action. So it looks like a very professional website that you can easily adjust. So I'm just going to show you like how easy it is to change. So once it's in here, you can click this wrench and click settings. It'll open up another box. And from here, we call it a visual editor. So a front end visual editor. Basically, if you see this text, whatever you type, what you see is what you get. So I'm going to say, welcome to our presentation. You can see as I'm typing here, it starts to show up here. So that's how easy it is. So if you're building websites for other people and you have clients and they want to know, hey, how do I edit these texts? You can show them how to use this tool, and it saves you so much time, energy, and headache because you're not having to fix every little things that they can easily do themselves. If you want to be able to change colors of things, it's very easy. Everything is pretty much point and click. So right, I want to change this button. Okay, so what can I do? I can change the call to action. So I say click here. I can change the icon if I want to, or simply remove it. Let's say I want to change the color or make it wider. Let's say I can make it wider. If I want to change the background color, so I can make this, I don't know, blue, right? You can see that everything is just point and click. I just point, I change it. It's very intuitive. We have things that say, okay, if you want to change the background color, here's how to do it. If you want to change the style, this is how to do it. And you have a selection for everything. As you noticed, I have not custom coded a single thing yet. You can see that I'm just simply clicking and choosing what I want to do. So I can just slide this in. So if I want to make this more of a oval type of button, right? So it's very nice and easy. If I want to drag and drop or just simply I want to remove this, I can actually drag this over here if I like to, and just move this over here. I can do the same here. I can really rearrange everything. I can just click, drag, and drop everything. You see that? I'm going to go ahead and delete this and see what happens. Okay. The nice thing that I want to show you too is everything is mobile responsive. So if I am going to move my browser in, you'll notice that things start to resize. Now that's not a good example right here, but let's just go to this section, for example. If I start to shrink this in, let's say as a tablet, it's going to start to reformat. And you see how it's resizing based off of my screen. And if I go to a mobile, you see how it naturally starts to stack things on top of each other. I didn't have to touch a line of code. I didn't have to do any formatting. It's very intuitive for you to be able to do that. Let's see. And so I'm just going to click done and just look at create another page. So we just mocked up a home page. Let's go ahead and create a services page real quick. So same process. I just basically click Beaver Builder, and I'm going to open up the templates again. And I'm just going to pick, let me see if I can find a services page. Perfect. So I'm going to use this services page. It's going to match our current home page. And same thing, we have, if you sell products or services, this is a great template to start with. And you can just simply change the picture, change the text, and slowly start to add your information, and you'll have a very professional looking website. I'm going to go ahead and start just kind of adding a little bit more as we go. We have plenty of time, so I'm just going to take my time and just go through this real quick. But as you can see, I started this presentation. I think I started this demo about maybe 5 or 10 minutes ago, and I've already created 2 website pages in that span of time. So if you know how to use a simple website, if you know how to point and click, you're going to be able to build some websites. Let's see here. So this is a pricing page. I know we have a template for pricing. So this is another thing that people like to, create, because you want to be able to offer packages or plans where people can buy things online. So we actually created a pricing table that you can start with, and you can simply change the price, change the buttons. You have some nice testimonials. There's even some accordion frequently asked questions type of tool there. Um, we have all kinds of fun templates that you can use. The other thing I'm going to show you real quick is we also have what we call pre-built rows. So if you're just trying to build a certain section of a website, we have some more templates for you to use. So I can go to templates, and I'm going to go to, sorry, I think it was, here we go, pre-built rows. So there's all kinds of, let's go to heroes. So you can see there's all these other more templates that you use. So you can, same thing, I can just click and drop it in, and then I already have something I can work with. And if I don't like that one, I can just simply click and, oops, click and drop it in somewhere. Here we go. There. Click and drop it in. Now I have a new one, and then I could just simply delete this one if I wanted to. So very, very simple stuff here. Templates, we also have an about page. So let's go ahead and find that. And so you can even use templates on top of templates. So I already had used this one, and say I like it, but I'm just going to go ahead and delete it so everything matches. And you have this nice about team page that you can place of your CEO and who your staff members are, change their photos. Really nice, easy layout to use. And then one last page I'm going to create real quick is the contact page. Okay, and then here we go, contact. All right, so we have a contact page, and you can see there's a map that's already included. You can book an appointment, and everything can be changed. So if you don't like this font style, no problem. You can change the font style. There's just so many variations you can do. There's already pre-built font families in here. So let's say we just choose Railway. And let's say we can make it bold. Let's say we want to change the color. Let's just change it up a little bit. You can always change it up. Here's a nice contact color. So you can see everything can be customized to your liking. And there you go. I have just simply created a 5-page website in a matter of a few minutes. And of course, you're going to be able to want to go in and play around with it and make it your own. But it gives you something to start with. So even if you've never built a website before, you don't know what a good page looks like, we have the tools for you to use to be able to just simply get started. All right. The other few other things I want to show you is even if you want to get more advanced and you like, I want to change the formatting of mobile. So we have this tool called responsive editing tool. And you can see right here, there are these icons that allow you to, let's say if you want to design and adjust the settings based off of a tablet view, you can simply do that. And let's say for tablet view, I like this font to be a little bit bigger. And just for tablets only. I can always do that. All right, so let's see how that looks. So see how it grew, I increased the size, but if I move it from mobile, I can also choose a specific font size for my mobile viewers. So now when I toggle between the responsive editing tool and I go back to, here we go, here to tablet view, the font's still big, but then when I go to mobile view, it's to the setting that I set it. So you can really adjust the settings as far as like, okay, I like my font or items to look a certain way on mobile, on tablet, and on desktop. We definitely have that available to you. And the next thing that I'm going to kind of show you is say, okay, before originally we were talking about some of these modules, right? So these are basically, you can drag and drop anything into your page. Let's say, for example, you want to include a video. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm just going to simply create two column row, and I'm just going to move my words here, and I'm going to show you how easy it is to insert a video to your site. So I'm just going to open the tab, go to modules, go to video, drag it in, drop it in. And now it's going to ask me, okay, give me, let's say, your YouTube video. So I'm going to just go to YouTube real quick. And okay, cool. So we have a video that you can use from Beaver Builder. All right. So now I can share. I'll be able to get the embed code. So I'm just going to copy this embed code and I'm just going to paste it into here. All right, look at that. So now we have a video and we just simply drag and drop some code and now you have a video that can play on your website. Now, of course, we could style it and adjust it so that it looks pretty, but you can see that you could do this very easily. I can even just, let's say, put it on top here and make it everything bigger. I can always, I'm just tweaking this right now, but anyways, I'm going to pause for a second and see what kind of questions there is.
We have a couple in the Q&A and one in the chat. Adam asked, say we had a file like a form that we need people to download. How would one go about putting that file up on the page?
Oh, that's a great question. Okay, so for example, one of the nice things about WordPress is you can upload files into the system. So I haven't showed you yet what they call the dashboard. So I've showed you how to build everything from the front end, but in the back end, there's a lot of different settings that you can do. And one of the things that you can do is you can add media files. So I am going to show you, for example, I have a I'm going to throw a, let's say, a PDF file here. How about that? Let's just throw a PDF. Okay, so I'm going to throw a PDF into here. And let's say you want to be able to download something. And I'm going to click on this PDF. And I'm just going to copy this link. Okay, so now when I go to the front of the site, and let's add that PDF to our site. let's go here. Let's make this button a download button. So what happens when you download that file? It basically is a file that's stored on your website. There's a link that you use to display that on the web. And all I'm going to simply do is I'll just change this button called action to download, right? And I'm going to remove that. And I just add that link and paste it here. So there's a link to that PDF, and I'm just going to say open a new window. So anytime someone clicks that, it will open a new window tab. So I'm just going to click done and publish. All right, I'm just going to click refresh real quick just to make sure. And now when I click this button, it'll pop up a file. So this is the PDF that I uploaded to WordPress. And I just simply copied this link. That's the file link. And I just pasted that link into where it said insert link into anything. So if I wanted, it could even be a picture if I wanted. Like, let's say I wanted when someone clicks a image, that file will open up. So I could easily do that to this image or even a text. There's really, you can insert links anywhere on your site if you want. But I'll just demonstrate real quick while we're currently at it, how that looks as far as an image. So sometimes people want to have images click to something, whether it could be another website, a link, a file. So I just changed it to URL. Same thing, I paste it, click new, save, and then it's saving. Click done and publish. So now anytime I click this image, it can also open up a file.
One question I know we get a lot here at WVNet working with K-12 schools is with the file download question. Often schools have to upload many PDFs to a page. Is there a quicker way to do that, or do we need to go and grab the URL from each PDF? Say you were building a page with several PDFs listed. Would there be a quicker way to do that?
Well, I mean, you can always download multiple items at the same time. So let's say I have, for example, if I wanted to select multiple files, I could always go in this, for example, and let's say I have a lot of documents. I'm going to do this one. Let's say I have a couple of things. I can always select multiple items at the same time. They'll all upload at the same time, right? And it could be, maybe what we could do is see if a gallery might work for you, if that makes sense. So let's see if that could work. I'm just going to refresh real quick. So I'm going to open up here and find gallery, see if that could be the solution to what you're looking for. So I'm just going to drop a gallery right here. And because I uploaded a couple items, it says here I can add what photos or media files, essentially. I'm just going to go and click add photos, and I can select from my media library. So let's say I select two. Let's throw in something else. I just have some random things in here that I'm just gonna just drag and drop, and just so you get the idea here. All right. Update gallery. So I think this is one possible solution for you. So you can see that when I dragged and dropped some graphics, images, or files, I can also create galleries so that could display multiple things at the same time pretty quickly. Is that kind of what you were looking for?
was thinking more along the lines of text that we clicked on, but I can see where this would be useful as well.
Oh, okay, text. So yeah, let's talk about text. And because the text editing tool is very intuitive as well. So let's say you have some content, right? So I'm just gonna copy and paste this and add some more here. Okay, so within the text editor, you can always add links. That's kind of a very common, useful thing to do. So we can add links to a file, right? So now this, when they click this link, it opens that PDF. You can bold, you can italicize, underline, change the color, even make this heading bigger. And then you can always add media files. So you click add media, and we can simply add some images. So, right, so I'm just going to add insert. So I could have easily inserted multiple images to this text area, but I kind of
It's a
want
shorter way to get to the media library too from the front end.
Yep.
So if
Yeah.
you
Once you
wanted to
start,
grab the URL, that would be a good way to do it as well. Nice.
Yeah, once you start playing around with WordPress and this, you'll find that there's a ton of shortcodes or shortcuts that you can do, and you simply just you're starting to get to a rhythm where you just know where things are at, and it just makes things so much faster. But this is not a great example here, but you get the idea. So there is ways to edit text, upload images within like paragraphs. That's kind of a very common use case. Another use case that people like to do is maybe create bullets, right? I can just highlight this and I can make bullets. Oops. So they can bullet things. You can, if you know how to use like Google Docs or Word, this will be very intuitive for you, right? So you can numerize things, right? You can even add testimonials. Let's say I want to create like a little testimonial right here. They have this icon that looks like a little quote, and I can make it a testimonial looking format. Oops. So it gives a little testimonial box, you see. And different themes have different styling, but you get the idea. So as far as from a text-based standpoint, if you can do Google Docs, Microsoft Word, it should be very easy for you to adjust your text.
Thanks. There are a couple questions in the Q&A. I asked one, but I'll go this other one first. When setting up a new site, what is the best way to set up templates?
You mean having your own templates?
Yes, yeah. I guess if you're creating a new site and new templates,
sure.
What would be the way?
So one of the nice things about this, so let's say you build websites often for people, and let's say I custom created this page, and I like this, and I want to use it on another website, so that way I don't have to recreate my website from scratch. Another nice tool that you can do is you can save anything as a template. So actually, that's a great question. Let me kind of show you that real quick. If I like this page and I can use it on a brand new website, new WordPress installation, I can definitely do that. One of the things that you can do is if you click on this, you can say, I can save a template. So I can just save this and use it somewhere else. And I can name this something. I'm going to say demo services. So what happens is it saves it, and you can export that file and import it to a new WordPress install. So I don't have the ability to do that right now because just for sake of time. But let's say this page, contact page, is a new website. Let's pretend this is a new website. And I just imported that template that I saved from another site. When I import it, it's going to show up in my Save tab. So when I click on the panel, and there's a tab right here called Saved, you can see that there may be some templates that I've saved from previous projects. But also, if I go to templates, I can also see my save templates. So yeah, there's a ton of templates here. Where's my demo? As you can see, I've built a lot of websites in the past for clients, and I have a lot of templates that I've saved throughout the years. Demo services. Here we go. So I saved that, and then I can use that on other sites or other pages. So it's a very quick way for you to save your work if you don't have to redo anything actually. And even if I like this button and I just want to use it over and over again, I can also save this button. So it has the exact same style. I can save as, give it a name, a demo button. Okay. Saved. Now, when I go to open my tab, click saved, a demo button. Where you at? There's so many. Ah, here we go. Demo button. So I'm just going to drag and drop it. And I'm just going to click save. So here we go. It's here. It doesn't look the same but if you resize it to the same, then it's the same. It's basically the same button. So there you go. Hopefully that answers your question. You can definitely design a page and save it as a template, move it to another site, and then you can reuse it. And you can also save different modules, different rows, anything. It really streamlines the process for you.
Quick question, follow-up question on the templates. If you make a change to any of those templates, do those carry through, or do you need to manually update the page? If you had a template already applied, then you decided you were going to make a change to it, does that change carry over?
It can. So let's say, let's use this button, for example. So this button, let's say I want to save it and I want to reuse it on another page. Okay. One of the nice things about this feature is you can also it's called global saving. So it's a global setting. So I can say yes for global, which means that anytime I make a global button, anytime I change this styling to this button, it's going to change it to that same button wherever I placed it on another page. So I'm going to go ahead and publish. Now I'm going to say I'm on the contact page. I'm going to bring that same button onto the about page here. Okay. And let's open up the tab real quick. I think we have a few more minutes. Let's see. Okay. I believe it's probably going to be at the very bottom again. Oops. Okay. My apologies. I probably should have cleared a lot of these templates that I've used in the past. How about I just do this? I'll just pick something else that oh, here it is, global button. So let's say I put it here. Okay. So now whenever I hover over it, see the other boxes are blue. The global boxes means it's a global one. So if I make this change here, it should reflect anytime I use it somewhere else. So let's say I'm just going to pretend this is on another page. So I can just keep everything on the same page for you. So essentially, global button, here we go. So let's pretend these two buttons are on different pages. If I make a change on one, it will show up on the other. So I'm just going to go ahead and change this color of this right here. And now this one changed it. You see that? So if you have the same button on all 5 pages, anytime I make change on one and you want to make that same change on all your pages, it can do so.
Very good. Nice.
Yeah.
We have just under, 10, 8, 9, no, I guess 7 minutes left now. Any other, let me check the chat, see if there are any other questions. I don't see any. I did have a question. I don't know if you have time to answer this one, but along the same line of included modules, if you're building a template with a sidebar menu, like for submenus, what would be the best way to build that template so that the sidebar menu changes based on the page it's on, like a contextual, like it would see conditional statements, I guess I should say.
Sure. So one of the, on our website, we have what we call Beaver Themer. So if you look at our products, we have the plugin, which is what I've been demonstrating for you.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's an additional add-on that you could to get where it allows you those conditional things. So let me kind of demonstrate Beaver Themer. I'm not sure if I have enough time to show you it all in action, but basically what you're saying is, let's say I created a blog post layout. And let's say we created it to, so these are where you can set these conditions or rules. So let's say I had a blog post category. I should have to create anything that's uncategorized. It'll have a certain layout, right? So same with the tool where you can drag and drop and build everything with the page builder. You can do the same thing with Beaver Themer. And Beaver Themer, whoops. So Beaver Themer has the ability for you to create content areas as well. But let's say I wanted the format to look one way, but every time they visit another category, it will look different. So I guess the best way to kind of demonstrate this is there's a website that uses Beaver Builder, and he has a lot of different podcasts, and every podcast show has a different sidebar, right? So you were asking about the sidebars. So let's use this one for example. So for example, anytime someone visits a blog or for his particular website, every time someone wants to listen to a particular show, they get a different sidebar. Let's see if that reflects it here, or maybe this is, I think here we go. Let's do, I think this one has a different sidebar. Or how about we could do blog? There you go. Let's just try blog. Okay, so I'll show you side by side. So essentially what we did was we created a sidebar that is custom to, well, this is not good. Okay, so it's very similar, but there is some variation. You notice that on this particular podcast, he wanted to show only podcast recent posts from this particular thread. Whereas this blog post, every sidebar only shows upcoming blog posts. So you can see, even though these are both similar blog post styles, but there is some variation on the sidebar, which is what you're asking. Like, how can we make conditional logic where if people visit this blog post category, they see this custom sidebar, and if they visit this podcast, they see this custom sidebar. Hopefully, did that answer your question?
Yeah, and that's a good example. I'll check that site out. I guess we are running pretty short of time now, so
Yeah.
I can't keep you on here. But yeah, thank you so much. This is really interesting.
Oh, good. Well,
And
hopefully it helps, and it gives you all a starting place to see what tools are available for you to use, and hopefully this was educational and everyone was able to benefit from it. So if
yeah,
you have any questions, feel free to send me an email. I'll leave Sarah my email, and if anyone needs to reach out to find me, you can connect with me there.
all right. Thanks so much, Anthony. Really appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Everyone have a great day.
Cheers.